Hello everybody, welcome to Flakpanzer's channel, and in this video I'm going to be going over cost and effect for how you use your assault teams. So whenever you send in your assault teams into a battle, it's going to cost you 40 war funds every time somebody spawns out of your assault team. If they go and kill one person on the enemy team, that means that you come out even because they're 40 war funds and the enemy side is also 40 war funds. If they kill 2 people, that means you're making 40 war funds. If they kill 3, and so on. If they end up spawning a tank crewman, then it's going to cost you 45. A pilot, it's 55. If they end up spawning a paratrooper, they're going to cost you 110 war funds. So now the paratrooper is going to have to do a lot more work in order to come out even for his life pool. If they decide to spawn recon, it's 76. So that means that the recon's got to kill 2 people in order to come out even for his pull of his life. If the infantry spawns a jeep, that means it's going to cost him 40 war funds plus another 30 war funds. This way it's recommended that you spawn on other people's jeeps because it saves money and vehicles for spawns. If you spawn on another person's bike, it's going to cost you 20 war funds for the bike instead of having it 2 bikes of 40 war funds and so on. So every time somebody spawns anything, it's going to cost this. Now, if you're playing defense as an example and people came up to you with vehicles, if you start destroying those vehicles because you got pulled from somebody's assault team, whether it's yours or somebody else's, if you destroy the jeep and bike, you will make towards that general's assault team the amount of money that what you just killed. So if you killed a jeep, it's going to give him 30 more war funds. If you kill a bike, it's going to give him 20 more war funds. The armor personnel carriers, that's the APCs, those cost 40 war funds apiece. So they basically cost the same price as a infantry. If you spawn a light tank, it's going to cost you 165 war funds plus the 45 war funds. So it's going to come out to about 210 war funds every time you spawn a light tank. So as a light tanker, you're going to have to kill at least 5 infantry or a combination of infantry and jeeps and bikes and APCs in order to equal the amount of money that it costs you to pull your light tank. Obviously, if you kill a light tank on the enemy side, it evens out right then and there. So the idea is to kill as many light tanks as you can with your light tank to even out. If you're ending up taking out a medium tank, you made money hands down on that particular tank. So if you pull a medium tank, you're going to cost 250 war funds plus the 45. Same thing goes for tank destroyers, 275 plus the 45. Heavy tank is 350 plus the 45. If you spawn a heavy destroyer, it's 310 plus the 45. Now, if you decide to spawn a armored recon vehicle, this is 40 war funds plus the recon, which is 76. So my recommendation is that if you are a recon and you see that the general sent you armored cars, please use them. They're not that much more expensive to the general. Plus, you get a cannon most of the time and a machine gun, and you can move around. They're not that powerful to say for infantry to steal. They're really easy to kill. So I recommend if you are recon to use those armored cars because they're very cost effective. They're only an extra infantry cost to the general. That being said, if you do spawn a paratrooper and the plane spawns, now the plane is 250 war funds plus the 110 for every paratrooper that comes out of that plane. So paratroopers are very difficult to make money unless you are a really good player in FPS, a close quarter combat, being able to take out 4, 5, 6 players and get the cap. That's the only way paratroopers are ever going to make any money in war funds in the game. Now, if you do play as a pilot, the recon plane costs 290 war funds plus the 55 war funds to spawn. My opinion is if you can find a player that is on voice comms with you, what you should do is spawn the plane as the driver, and then spawn another pilot in the back seat, and jump with that plane pilot onto the battlefield. Since the pilot only costs 55 war funds, basically you need 2 kills to equal out the pilot. Now that plane unit is going to make money after that. For every kill you get, if you end up capping, you make massive amounts of war funds for that particular hero. And then all you got to do is move on to the next point and get more caps and more kills. And I'll get into the feature of F11 at a later time in another stream, and that will also go into being able to maximize your effectiveness with the recon plane. I'll get into the F11 feature in another video, but I recommend using the F11 feature to maximize the war funds in your for the plane unit. Once you do the F11 feature, you go back into the plane and jump onto the next point. So basically, you're a plane carrier dropping your pilot off in the next point. That's how I would play the recon plane assault team. Now moving on to the medium plane, which is where did I put it? Right here, fighter plane. So fighter planes are 650 war funds apiece plus the 55 war funds. So you need to kill at least 650 war funds worth of vehicles or infantry on the ground to come out even with the price for that particular medium plane pull. And then the last but not least is the heavy plane fighter, and that one's 950 war funds plus the 55 war funds for the pilot. So you need to kill at least 1,000 war funds worth of units on the ground just to come out even with the plane. Now, obviously, if you're a fighter plane and you kill a heavy plane, you made money. If you're a fighter plane and you kill another fighter plane, you came out even for what you did, and so on. I hope this was informative and you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, come visit me on Twitch. The handle is Flak_Panzer, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one, everybody.